Hi, it's Alistair Hammond from CNC. I'd like to ask you a little bit about your motivation, why you're behind this organization.
Well, my name is Mira Sorvino. I'm an actress, but I'm also the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crimes Goodwill Ambassador against human trafficking. And I first came to the Vatican last spring at the second annual Vatican Conference on Human Trafficking about the cooperation of law enforcement and the church. And Bishop Sorvino invited me back to attend here, and I was so thrilled and so honored. And I have to say, I am moved beyond words almost at this event today, because the idea that all of these major leaders of world faith could come together to get aside any differences between them and celebrate the dignity and honor of each human soul on the planet, and to work together to try and eradicate modern-day slavery. It's an unprecedented day in human history. I mean, religious groups don't often come together on any subject, and slavery has been with us for all time, and now all of the major faiths are coming together to say we will not tolerate it anymore, and we are going to eradicate it. And they are going to mobilize billions of faithful around the world to take action, not just awareness, but action, to save all of these people who are suffering under the lash of brutal people exploiting them just for the profit motive, just for money. And UNODC has just put out their biennial report on human trafficking around the globe, and the number of children involved is growing. It's now around 30% of all human trafficking victims are children, and 70% are female victims, whether women or girls. And most countries are not reporting an increase in convictions. There's a kind of stasis occurring. It's slowing down. And so this is exactly the sort of moral, spiritual wake-up call that we all need to really put teeth into the paper tigers of the laws that have been passed. We have to now really say it is intolerable in our time that one person should own another, should use another, should exploit another, that children should suffer horrendous fates, that any person should be enslaved by another person. So this is a beautiful, historic day, and I'm so proud to be a witness to it. It's so hard to just be in the room.
Are you optimistic that 2020 will be the day that they will actually make it happen?
Boy, that would be a dream most devoutly to be wished. I can't say when it will happen, but I think with all of these incredible people here of such huge hearts and souls, maybe it is possible for the first time, because to have all of these people that so many look up to and so many revere and look to for their calls to action in their lives, their moral directives, this is really quite something, and the most hopeful day I've seen yet. And I have to say, the young woman, Carla, who goes by Claudia, who spoke today, I interviewed her 5 years ago in Mexico with the Blue Heart Campaign, which is an awareness and action-raising campaign by UNODC. And she had just recently been rescued from sexual slavery. And she was so broken then, and she was so tough and trying not to show her pain. And she told me the most horrendous stories about her treatment and her abuse at the hands of her captor, of her pimp. Not only her abuse, but the abuse of her daughter by this evil man. And to see her now today so strong and moving and galvanizing for all of us reading the Declaration was so beautiful to me. I am so proud, and she is the example of someone who has come out of slavery and fully taken advantage of this beautiful life that her Creator meant her to live. She is now an advocate for millions of people. She's happy, she's married, she's thriving, and she's an example that every slave can be a fully productive, happy, beautiful human being. They're not lost causes. They're incredible beings just waiting for us to make that effort to stop what's happening to them.
When you first heard about this foundation, were you surprised that slavery still exists? Because it obviously is something that most people thought had been consigned to the dustbin of history, but evidently this is not the case. Were you surprised?
I've been working on modern-day slavery since 2004. When I heard about it then, yes, I was very surprised. I thought, in the U.S., Lincoln freed the slaves and it was over, and, Wilberforce in England. And there are more slaves living in the world today than any other time in recorded history. So there are many things that these faith organizations can do, not only with their spiritual leadership, but with their assets, with their properties, with their man and woman power to help people who need help, to discover the early signs of vulnerability among children who might be trafficked, to end abuse in the homes, to create schools and shelters. There's so many things that the faith-based community can do with their own resources, as well as exerting a great deal of pressure on government bodies to actually do the work that they're supposed to do now with the laws that have been created and with the Palermo Protocol that most countries are signatory to on human trafficking. So it's an incredible moment.
Thank you very much.